Hello and welcome to a long overdue new chapter of ADHD Reads. And today we are going to be doing my June TBR, which is basically all the books on my shelf that I haven't read yet. So without further ado, let's dive into it. So first we have Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews. And I am beyond excited about this book. I have heard so much about this book. And the back is so beautiful. The cover is so beautiful. Like, this dust jacket is just, the art is everything. The back says, Thomas had no idea that Andrew would do anything for him. Protect him, lie for him, kill for him. So the blurb says, high school senior Andrew Pearl finds refuge in the twisted fairy tales that he writes for the only person who can ground him to reality. Thomas Rye, the boy with perpetually ink-stained hands and hair like autumn leaves, and with his twin sister Dove, inexplicably keeping him at a cold distance upon their return to Wickwood Academy, Andrew finds himself leaning on his friend even more. But something strange is going on with Thomas. His abusive parents have mysteriously vanished, and he arrives at school with blood on his sleeve. Thomas won't say a word about it and shuts down whenever Andrew tries to ask him questions. Stranger still, Thomas is haunted by something, and he seems to have lost interest in his artwork. Whimsically macabre sketches of the monsters from Andrew's wicked stories. Desperate to figure out what's wrong with his friend, Andrew follows Thomas into the off-limits forest one night and catches him fighting a nightmarish monster. Thomas's drawings have come to life and are killing anyone close to him. To make sure no one else dies, the boys battle the monsters every night. But as their obsession with each other grows stronger, so do the monsters, and Andrew begins to fear that the only way to stop the creatures might be to destroy their creator. So I don't normally read like fantasy type books, but I'm really excited for this. I think it's got bits of horror in it. It's got romance, which I usually don't like either. I think it's going to be action-packed. It's going to be suspenseful. It's going to be cute and romantic, which might just melt my frozen heart. And I think this is going to be the first one I'm going to start with, honestly, even though we haven't even gotten to the rest of the books. I think this is the one I want to start with. Okay, next we have We Used to Live Here by Marcus Kluwer. I hope I'm saying that correctly. So there's nothing worse than uninvited guests. As a young queer couple who flip houses, Charlie and Eve can't believe the killer deal they've just gotten on an old property in a picturesque neighborhood. While Eve works on the house one day, there's a knock on the door. A man stands there with his family, claiming to have lived here before, and asking whether it would be all right if he showed his kids around. People pleaser to a fault, Eve lets them in. As soon as the strangers enter their home, inexplicable things start to happen. The family's youngest child goes missing, and a ghostly presence materializes in the basement. Even weirder, the family can't seem to take the hint that their visit should be over. And when Charlie suddenly vanishes, Eve slowly loses her grip on reality. Something is terribly wrong with the house and with the visiting family. Or is Eve just imagining things? Dun dun dun. So I bought this because I saw it reviewed a lot. I believe it's pitched as a horror and thriller. And you know, I am a thriller girly through and through. And I kind of like that there is some a little bit of a supernatural element in here, which I typically don't read supernatural books. So I was excited to try something a little new. And yeah, honestly, anything thriller will basically catch my attention, and I had heard so many good things about this book, so I had to get it. Okay, next we have one of my all-time favorite authors. I started reading his books when I was like 11, which is probably way too young to be reading his books. We have Mr. Stephen King and his book, Mr. Mercedes, which I have had for a while now. I started reading it and I don't know what happened. I will read the blurb for you guys. And it's also now a Netflix show, I believe. So I really need to read this book so I can watch the show. And I've never been disappointed by a Stephen King book yet, so something tells me I'm going to love this. The stolen Mercedes emerges from the pre-dawn fog and plows through a crowd of men and women online for a job fair in a distressed American city. Then the lone driver backs up, charges again, and speeds off, leaving 8 dead and more wounded. The case goes unsolved, and retired detective Bill Hodges is out of hope when he gets a letter from the man who loved the feel of death under the Mercedes wheels. Brady Hartsfield wants that rush again, but this time he's going big, with an attack that would take down thousands, unless Hodges and 2 new, unusual allies he picks up along the way can throw a wrench in Hartsfield's diabolical plans. I just know this is going to be a wild ride. I think it's going to be fast-paced. It's going to be a thriller / maybe a bit of a horror because it's Stephen King. And she's thick. Let's see, without reading anything. Let's see how long this bad boy is. $436 pages. 436 pages, so she thick. But yeah, I love this cover. You see the little smiley face on the umbrella there? Smiley face there. This is going to be a good one. Okay. Next we have We Are All Guilty Here by Karen Slaughter. I have heard just raves about Karen Slaughter. I have not read any of her books yet. And when I got this, I thought this would be a good one to start with. It had just come out, and I thought, why the heck not? We've got praise for her from Harlan Coben, Sherry LaPena, Gillian Flynn, Tess Gerritsen, Michael Connolly, Kathy Reichs, Lisa Gardner, all well-renowned thriller authors. So you know she's got to be good. The blurb says, "Welcome to North Falls, a small town where everyone knows everyone, or so they think, until the night of the fireworks, when 2 teenage girls vanish and the town ignites. For Officer Emmy Clifton, it's personal. She turned away when her best friend's daughter needed help, and now she must bring her home. But as Emmy combs through the puzzle the girls left behind, she realizes she never really knew them. Nobody did. Every teenage girl has secrets, but who would kill for them, and what else is the town hiding?" And these chewed up pages, oh my gosh, I just love the texture. I just can know this is going to keep me on my toes. This is going to be a page turner for sure. I actually got this in a book subscription box, the one and only book subscription box I ever bought. And I was like, this is the book. This is the one I want. And I'm so glad I picked up this one. Okay. An author I have heard so much about, but have never read. Chevy Stevens. And I have her book, Dark Roads. So, Dark Roads, the blurb says, the Cold Creek Highway stretches for 500 miles through rugged wilderness. For decades, young women traveling the road have gone missing. Motorists and hitchhikers, those passing through or living in one of the small towns scattered along the region, have fallen prey time and again, and no killer or abductor who has stalked the highway has ever been brought to justice. Haley McBride calls Cold Creek home. Her father taught her to respect nature, how to live and survive off the land, and to never travel the highway alone. Now he's gone, leaving her a teenage orphan in the care of her aunt, whose police officer husband uses his badge as a means to bully and control Haley. Overwhelmed by grief and forbidden to work, socialize, or date, Haley vanishes into the mountainous terrain, hoping everyone will believe she's left town. Rumors spread that she was taken by the highway killer, who's claimed another victim over the summer. 1 year later, Beth Chevalier arrives in Cold Creek, where her sister Amber lived and where she was murdered. Estranged from her parents and seeking closure, Beth takes a waitressing job at the local diner just as Amber did, desperate to understand what happened to her and why. But Beth's search for answers puts a target on her back and threatens to reveal the truth behind Haley's disappearance. Okay, so it looks like we're going to be following two girls' stories in here. I think this is going to be complex. It's going to be twisty. There's going to be a lot going on in here. I feel like there's going to be a few plot twists. I'm excited. I think this one's going to keep me thinking. Now, I saved possibly the most iconic one for last. Now, I say most iconic because I feel like everyone on BookTube has read this book except me. And that is the main reason I got it, because I have not heard a single negative review. It doesn't matter what genre of books you normally read, everyone and their mother has read this book. And that is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So the back says, "My dearest, I always promised I'd tell you the full story one day. The secrets, the lies, the love stories. Seems so clear to me now that I spent much of my life chasing the wrong thing. But I found what I was looking for along the way, and for that I am exceedingly grateful. I do not claim to be an honest person or even a good one, but I am finally ready to tell you the truth. All my love, Evelyn." Like, isn't this dust jacket just beautiful? So the blurb says, aging and reclusive Hollywood icon Evelyn Hugo is finally ready to tell the truth about her glamorous and scandalous life. But when she chooses unknown magazine reporter Monique Grant to write her story, no one is more astounded than Monique herself. Determined to use this opportunity to jumpstart her career, Monique listens in fascination. From making her way to Los Angeles in the 1950s to leaving show business in the 80s, and of course the 7 husbands along the way, Evelyn unspools a tale of ruthless ambition, unexpected friendship, and a great forbidden love. But as Evelyn's story nears its conclusion, it becomes clear that her life intersects with Monique's own in tragic and irreversible ways. Written with Reid's signature talent for creating complex, likable characters, This is a mesmerizing journey through the splendor of old Hollywood into the harsh realities of the present day as two women struggle with what it means and what it costs to face the truth. And when we remove this dust jacket, can we just look at this beautiful, beautiful cover? All My Love, Evelyn. And the beautiful sprayed edges with 7 rings. And then the spine. Just wow. So there we have it. I have 6 books on my June TBR. I will be starting with Don't Let the Forest In, and then hopefully get the rest in for the remainder of the month in no particular order. And I hope if any of you have read these books, please leave your review in the comments below, whether you liked them, didn't like them, would you recommend them? If you have any book recommendations, please let me know. And yeah, I will be doing a book review once these books are read. I will see you in the next one, and as always, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!